Hi everyone, it's Morgyn from For the Love of Paper, and I'm here with a layout process video for you. This one I actually filmed quite a while ago, and it's been sitting in my stack of videos to upload. So I thought, getting back in the swing of uploading videos this month, I would do a voiceover for this one and put it up for you guys. So I'm using some Stampin' Up! Papers. I can't remember what the collection was, but it was black and white and pink. That was pretty much the colors. I can't remember what it was. And I am using a black and white freckled fawn embellishment kit, and that's pretty much all, other than the black and white cardstock. That's all I'm using for this layout. So I wanted to do like a circle theme for this particular one. It was a photo of Frank and Sam and I that I'd taken, and I had printed it out in black and white because it was a really grainy photo that I'd taken at night, so a low light photo. So I wanted to kind of just go with that black and white theme. And then I found a sketch that had this big circle in the background, and I kind of took some inspiration from that and went with it. So I got one of my dinner plates and just drew a circle on the black cardstock to give me my base. Now I could have cut this out on my Cameo, but I didn't really know where I was going to go with it, what exactly I was going to do, so I decided to cut everything by hand. So once I had my circle, I wanted to divide it up into sections, but I didn't want them to be, quarters or anything, so I was trying to work it out. That's the photo there under all the papers. So I think I'd gone through and worked out that I had 5 different papers, so I wanted it to be in 5 sections. So I just went through and marked off, I think I put it in quarters to start with. Oh yeah, that's right. I folded it in half to find the exact center, and put it in, sorry, what am I trying to say? I drew quarter marks on it and then sort of broke those down a little bit further. Yeah, so it was actually really easy. It did take me a little while to get it all done, mainly because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do while I was doing it. It just sort of happened. So then I marked each section with the number 1 to, is it 5 I've got there? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5. So I knew which section in the circle would match with which pattern paper when I cut them out. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And then I went along and added some extra lines so that each little section had a border on it, and then went and cut them all out with my craft knife. Oh, I went around the edge as well. I didn't have, I do have a, what are those things called? A compass, but I can't find it. It is lost or been thrown out. Probably thrown out, as I didn't think I would ever need it. So I might have to get myself a new one of those, because this was a really fun layout to do, and I wouldn't mind doing it again with some different colors or some different, maybe some washi tape, like lots and lots of strips of washi tape behind each section of the circle. So yes, I might go get a compass to do some circle drawings. So there you go. I just used my craft knife and cut out each little section so they all had a border. And then because I'd written I fast forwarded through that because you didn't need to see me cutting every single little bit. You should get the gist of it from that. And then because I'd written the numbers on, this is where I went and cut out the pattern papers just by tracing around the cut out bits, so I was getting the same shape. The only thing is, if you do try and do this, make sure you cut a little bit bigger than the line or the trace that marks that you just did, because my first one I cut a little bit too small and it didn't quite, it was a bit harder to match it up, whereas if you do it a little bit bigger, you've got room to glue it on that on those border pieces. So now it's time to go and place all my papers in their correct spots. And so as you can see, I have chopped a bit of footage out of this video because it was very repetitive and a little bit boring to watch. So I've sped it up. I think this layout took me just over an hour to do because there was sort of a lot of cutting and ruling up and things like that. So it did take a little bit longer than normal, but I really like how it turned out in the end. And as I said, I do want to try this with some other coloured paper because this one's very monochrome. Although that big piece of paper, like the biggest section that I'm working on there, that's actually got gold foil on it, just to break it up and give it a bit of a different look rather than just the plain black and white everywhere. So there you go. I've sped all that up for you as well. And done. Nice and easy. So now it's time to glue all that down, and I just used some liquid glue, and just went through piece by piece. I was going to try and do the whole outside of the circle and all the bits in the middle at one time, but then I thought if I messed it up even just a little, the whole thing would be stuck and it would be not fun. So I just sort of did bit by bit around the edges. See, there you go, like that bit didn't quite line up and I had to sort of pull it and stretch it a little. Being that the paper is so thinly cut, it made it a bit easier to manipulate, which was nice. And done. See, I really like how that's turned out already without even putting anything else on it. And then this bit I sort of fluff around trying to work out where I want my photo. And I had left a border, then I decided I didn't want a border, and I actually think I do mount it on some white cardstock again. I'm pretty sure I do. Or maybe not, I can't remember now. It was quite a while ago that I did this layout. Yep, there we go. I do mount it on another bit of cardstock. For the person who can't make up their mind. Although the border that did print was probably rather uneven, which is why I did that, I think. That's why I usually do it anyway. And yeah, so it's been a while since I've had a video, I've done a voiceover or made a video for you guys, because the ones that I've had up on the channel, not that there's been very many, I know it's been very, very quiet on the channel recently, but those that have been around on the channel for a while know that I did just have a baby. He is 7 weeks old now, so time has just gone so fast. I can't believe that he's that big already. Yeah, so that's why I haven't really been scrapping, haven't really been doing much, but I did try and have, at least a video a week, I think, up on the channel. There was a couple of weeks, I think you had two videos. So I know it hasn't been very busy, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of it now, and I have got a little bit of scrapbooking done in the last couple of days, which is nice. I do need to do a bit more because I feel like I'm so far behind now. I know you can't ever really be behind, but I feel like I am. So can't wait till this weekend. I've told my husband that other than feeding the smallest child, I will not be doing anything around the house. I will be going to my craft room and just crafting up a storm. I might even bring the table out into the lounge so that I can watch TV or watch a movie with the boys, so I'm still kind of part of it. Yes, so it's going to be my weekend to have just about me. Well, I'll still be scrapping them, so I suppose it's still about them, isn't it? So now I'm going through and working out what I want to do for my embellishment clusters. And this roll of washing tape, I've actually got 2 rolls of this because one roll came in this kit, and then I got another kit from Kitaholics Kits, and it came with a roll of this same tape. So I might put one aside to in my giveaway pile, I think, because I don't think I need 2 of them, although it is a really awesome roll of washi tape. Lots of great phrases and sentences that can be used in so many different scenarios. So I just went through and cut it down. What is there, 5 there? I think there was another 2 on the roll that I didn't cut out as well. So this embellishment cluster, I used one of the wood chips, a little circle, what is it? What are they called? Like a journaling spot label, that's what I wanted to use. So a little label, and then some of the enamel dots, or I think one of them is actually a heart. And then I stick one of those little word phrases, sentences down. Do I leave that there? I do leave that there. And another enamel dot, because you can't have too many enamel dots on a page, I don't think. And that's a really, really neat enamel dot sheet, because it's got hearts, stars, dots, and there, I think the dots were, the white ones were, had glitter in them, which was really cool. I would like to get my hands on another sheet of those. I will keep my eye out, or someone should make some more like that, because they're fun. And then I loved these epoxy stickers as well. The gold and the black and the white were really cool. And this was another one that I loved. All the little black and white cameras. I don't actually think one of those makes it on the layout, but I freaking love them. I don't normally, I don't subscribe to the Freckled Fawn kit, but this one really, really took my fancy. And I actually think I bought it off one of the sales group on Facebook, because I couldn't get my hands on it from the Freckled Fawn store. I'm pretty sure it had sold out, or I was too late, or whatever it was. I didn't end up getting it, but I absolutely love it, and I kind of wish I had 2 of them, to be honest. So now I'm going to make a little tag just out of a, what are they? It's a 3x4 journaling card that was from Stamping Up, and I just trimmed it down to make a tag shape, and then punch a little circle in there. I can't remember what else I did to this. Oh, I outlined the border. Oh, that's right, because it didn't really stand out on that white border. So I thought, the white background, my apologies. And I stick all of those little phrase stickers on there, which was kind of fun. I'm going to have to try and do that again too. This is a really fun layout to do, and I've got so many ideas from it that I want to use again. I'm going to scrap lift myself another time. Here we go, and I just slot that in there. Well, let's put some tape on it. So yeah, I can't wait to get back into my craft room. I've actually been resorting out all my embellishments, because I haven't really wanted to craft too much in the last few weeks. Like, there's been a couple of times where I've gone in there and sort of potted around and done little bits and pieces, and I've resorted all my embellishments, which is pretty cool. I'm going to see how that goes, see if it helps me use up some of the older pieces. I might try and do a little bit of a scrap room tour, or a how I organize my stuff video soon as well. It's on my list of to-dos. And yeah, so I've kind of been doing things like that, and I went through, I had a big box of stuff that, like old stuff that I tried to sell a whole bunch of it, and there was some left over that I was going to give away, and I did give away a big chunk of it to Sam's old kindergarten, but they couldn't take all of it. Some of it they couldn't use. So I went back through it all, and I've decided that I'm going to make a couple of little mini albums from some of it, and then try and use up some of the other bits. So I've been sorting that out and reorganizing myself, and my husband just told me that he doesn't want his part of the desk anymore, so I'm getting an even bigger desk, which is exciting. It's funny because I said to him, when we decided we were going to share the office and he got one part of it and I got another part of it, I said, you're never going to use this. And he insisted that he would. And I think he sat in there 3 times when we first did it. And then maybe twice since then. And that was like 4 months ago. So yeah, he's useless. Absolutely hopeless. I told him he wouldn't use it, so he's finally given in and said, I don't use it, you can have the whole room. So I shall be expanding my desk area, which is nice. I'll have a spot for my sewing machine and a spot for my Cameo and a spot to craft, and then another little area where I can set my computer up so I don't have to keep moving it around. I mean, it's a laptop, so it's meant to move around, but it gets a little bit annoying to move it around all the time when I want to clear my desk and craft. So it'll be nice to have a little section for everything. And once I've done that, I'll try and do a little bit of a room tour for you. I know I did say on one of the Facebook groups a few weeks ago that I'd do one, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get around to it. I think we had a really bad day, or baby had a bad day that day, or someone had a bad day that day. Anyway, back to the layout. I did another little embellishment cluster up in that top left corner, just with some labels and some stickers. And then I added another one of the chipboard labels down the bottom. And there is a white heart that I've put on top of the tag. It's what is it called? Like a resin heart, and it's got glitter all through it as well, which you'll see those in the still images at the end. And just then I was going through my camera trying to find the date of the photo, because I know I've mentioned in the past that I have to date my layouts more often. So that was me going back and checking the date for this particular photo. And now just putting my title in, because I've been a bit slack lately and I've been forgetting to put titles on my layouts. So this one I just titled Happy Family. And that was pretty much the last photo we took before I had baby Roman. That was our last sort of family photo, I think. Before we were 4 instead of 3, which is still a bit crazy to say that I've got 2 children. Anyway, that is this layout done, guys. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see the next videos that I upload. Bye!